it's me again, and it's so lovely to be connected to all of us from around the world. As you know already, my name is Julia Udwak, and I am a member of the iLead Global team. The iLead Global team works at seeing how best possible the world can be impacted in different fields. So we have the leadership, we have personal development, and entrepreneurship. Yes, it's all about the money. You know, how do we create value? How do we create value for ourselves? How do we create value for the market? You know, before the money starts rolling in. And it's not as easy as it sounds. There are a number of things that businesses, individuals, organizations have always overlooked. And today, we will be seeing how best possible we can provide information that can help us bridge the gap. And to do this with me today is an amazing personality. If you haven't heard of him before, go check him out. I would put his link, his social media link, and you can go check him out. And if you want to see something he has done with us before, you can check. You know, go down, scroll down, check, and you will see, you know, some presentation that he has had with us. It was so amazing. And people kept asking, you know, where is Coach Bankole? Coach Bankole is here today. Coach Bankole comes with a wealth of experience, you know, working with leaders, working with organizations, and working with entrepreneurs like me and you. And today, he is going to be dishing out some interesting, thought-provocative tips that would help us do better with our work. Thank you so much for being here, Coach Bankole. Thank you for always making out that time. I know you're so busy, so busy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Julia.
Businesses, whatever you want to call them, right? They are always faced with some significant challenges when it comes to creating and implementing business strategies. Some of these challenges, I think it's comfortable. We call them comfort trap. That's what the topic of today is, comfort traps. Now, these comfort traps, as we had discussed earlier, you pointed out this to me specifically, that this comfort traps stems from some pitfalls, right? So these pitfalls are what have made companies, made businesses, made organizations, you know, fall into this trouble with creating a business strategy. But we still don't know. It's in our faces. It's in our faces, but we don't still see it. But before we look at that, I want to know, what is business strategy? What is business strategy?
All right, thank you. Now, to make it very simple, so everyone can understand, a strategy is just a plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall aim. Simple put. So that means you need to have design a step-by-step process to achieve a particular set of goals. Simple.
Okay.
So,
okay. Yeah.
So the challenges that a lot of people have about developing a strategy is that their focus is not always on what brings the result that they want. Their focus is majorly on the end result that they want for like an immediate gain. I keep telling people that, look, if your primary goal of wanting to start a business or running a business is to make money, you are going to run into a lot of problems. Because the money is the end result of solving a problem for someone to get the result that you want. So focus should be on What problems am I going to solve? How am I going to solve it? How am I going to get people? How am I going to convince this person to come to me so I can solve that problem and get the money from them? But the challenge is most people focus on, let me just get this money. I need to do anything just to get this money from people. And eventually they find themselves on a short-term journey. Before you know, the whole program or the whole business is down.
When you're saying that they are focused on short term, of course, when we are doing businesses, we want to make money. So when you're talking about long term, long term, that's like it's I don't know. For some businesses, you would hear like 10 years, 5 years. Is that what you're talking about?
Now, let me explain something to you. Take, for instance, this business that we are into, the business of selling information, right? Now, you're meeting someone for the first time. And then you're saying to this person has not heard from you, this person has not seen your work, this person has not consumed whatever information that you sell before. And the first thing you say, this is how much I'm going to collect from you. They will most likely have a doubt, right? And even if they pay you from that beginning, right, you will not pay so much attention to the actual concerns that they have that is bringing them to you. But someone comes to you, I want to buy a product or buy a service, and you ask questions like, what exactly are the concerns that you have that you want to deal with? You understand, okay, I'm going to give you a 30 minutes free session so you understand the kind of value that I'm going to add to your life. From there, we tend to build confidence in these people and make it easier for them to give us that same money that we're looking for. Now, if it's a physical product take for instance, someone wants to buy a shoe, and they get into the store and they're like, I want to buy a shoe. For so many people, you just say, okay, this is the shoe, buy this one. And the person is like, I don't like it, don't worry, I'll give you this one. Rather than asking, what exactly do you want this shoe for? Is there an occasion you want to attend? Do you have a particular kind of leather that you want? Is it a soft one, a hard one? How does it fit on your leg? So you understand, the person becomes more comfortable with you, and they will be happy with you when you help them solve that particular problem, because we buy a product or a service to solve a problem. And if the entrepreneur is not focusing their attention into solving that problem, in the long run, you might keep making money, but you find yourself struggling along the line. And the moment you're able to address somebody's major concerns about buying a product, they'll always come back to you, and they'll always remember that, because it leads to the emotion and how they feel about you and their brand. So I'm not saying when you start the business, you're not going to make money. You will make money, but if your primary focus is on I just want to make money, you run into problems. Because when the challenges of running a business comes, you find it difficult to maneuver.
That makes a lot of sense. So what about someone who is just starting off? Someone who is just starting off, someone who has found this idea, for example, or is just trying to launch into the market. Say, for example, I want to start training people in tennis, and let's say that what I want to achieve in this is that I would be able to train people who would be able to compete in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something I'm just starting off, and then I'm working with kids, for example. So if we're looking at building, as you mentioned, working with the process, this is me looking at building on someone. Then I'm working with like an 8-year-old child, or 8-year-old, 10-year-old kids, and before they would be set off to go for the Olympics, would be somewhere maybe 18. That's a long time. So why don't I just work with someone who has some rusty experience and try my luck to see how we get to the Olympics, instead of having to spend so long a time trying to train them.
All right.
I mean,
the thing is this. Okay, I understand you. But the thing is this, it's a choice. If you want to run a business, we all know that money is a fuel of that keeps the business going, right? Now, if you want to train kids to become Olympic champions, and it's going to take a certain period, those kind of strategy is going to be in your long-term plan. Long-term plan. Having people that are a bit rusty that you want to just brushing them up to give you the kind of results you want, those one might be what? On a mid-term. Now, on a short term that you're starting, it's probably you're selling a quick service of people that just want to exercise themselves, learn the little tricks about how to play the tennis. Those ones are paying you immediately. So you have the resources to fund the short term. And then from there, you have the also resources to fund what? The long term. Do you
Okay,
understand?
okay, okay.
You can,
That makes a lot of sense. Yes, yes. That makes a lot of sense because um with strategy you have to actually think multiple. If you have to make money, you have to
yeah,
think multiple. So not putting myself in that box that
yeah,
I have to work with these kids. But then I need money, I need money. So
yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much. So what do you have to say about uncertainty with the market, considering all of the troubles that get to happen in recent time? We know about the economic downturn, and then
Yeah,
COVID happened. There was
yeah,
lockdown. So,
yeah,
with someone who has this aspiration of, getting to some certain level in the future, or an
yeah,
organization that covering a particular range or region during a particular
yeah,
period of time, then
yeah.
things happen. Some of these things is a reason why nobody wants to really spend their time doing this. They just want to make that quick money. So what do you have to say about economic downturns, uncertainties, and all the fears?
Okay. Number one, you need to understand the psychology behind running a business. You need to understand your reasons for wanting to become an entrepreneur. Like I said, entrepreneurs are problem solvers. And along the line of running a business, you will encounter challenges. It is your responsibility as a business person to accept that your job is to solve problem, whatever challenge that comes along the line, your job is to find a solution. That is why I said, if your primary focus is on making money, when these challenges come, you may not be able to survive it. But if your focus is what I do is to solve problems using the knowledge and the information that I have for other people. So a challenge comes. Before now, we say that if we're going to have a meeting, okay, let us meet at let us book a hall, an hotel reception or a hotel hall and whatever, have sessions, have trainings, have conferences and seminars. And then we had COVID. Everybody could not move. But then again, the meetings must still continue. That is what is leading us to have conversations like this. Before now, a lot of people were not paying attention to something like this. Now, other platforms are now creating solutions like this to solve that kind of challenge. Before now, people were running, it's easier for people to just say that, let me just, I need to buy stuff, I need to get up from where I am, especially in Nigeria here, in some parts of Nigeria, it's not so popular. The logistics business has now become so popular now after COVID. Before COVID also, some people that were trading in some other kind of products or services find themselves stuck and they could not move. They now had to change from whatever product they were selling to something else that people needed at that time. They are focusing on whatever problem that is available, I am going to provide solution to it. Even if it's stopping the system, the current system that I've been running. If it's not working and something else is an obstacle, I will use my knowledge and experience to solve that and get rewarded for the problems that I'm solving for people. And when that one is over, I can continue. But a lot of people get stuck because their mindset is towards, this is my business, I'm not making money. Forgetting that your job is to solve a problem. It doesn't matter what you're selling. If the stack of shoes you have are not moving at the moment, your job is to provide comfort for people using your what's it called? Fashion accessories. If the shoes are not doing what you want for the moment, find dresses, find jewelry. Your job is to provide that what? Fashion accessory. Do you understand? So we need to change, first of all, change the mindset that you have about yourself and about how to run a business. That is what is going to keep you going. Now, uncertainties that we find in the business world, uncertainties, it will always come because things will always evolve, people will always change, and a lot of decisions of other people would affect the decisions that we are also going to take. So we need to be ready. We need to be ready to also change that. Whatever happens, my job is to understand the problem and solve it, and then I move forward.
Understand the problem, solve it, and move forward. So by moving forward, you're talking about the money, the moolah.
Look, like I said, definitely when you come to me and tell me that, look, you have this challenge, you have this, and I focus and I listen to you, I attend to you. Definitely that money is going to come in.
Okay. So
the money is definitely going to come. Yeah.
Okay. In everything you're saying now, how do I provide value for my product? How do I provide value for the product or the service that I am offering? How do I do that? It is by solving a problem. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
By solving a problem. Okay, so how do I strike the balance with costs? How do I find the balance with costs? Because you would discover that, yes, I might realize that, say, for example, people would find it much, much easier if they have to sit at home and just place orders for something, and I can provide this thing for them. And so if I'm looking at the fact that this thing I have to provide for people to make myself more appealing in the market, I need to be offering something at a lower price as to my competitors. Okay. So how do I now strike that balance, considering the fact that I know that it's going to cost me a lot of money to be able to even get these products to them, you know, and I need to make good money from it. I really do need to make good money from it. So, but then I sit down to do all the calculations and all of that, and I realize that the competitors are actually, I'm wondering how they are making money, because they seem to be offering something way less than how much I would actually need to charge my clients to be able to make good money.
Okay.
How do I strike this balance?
All right. Now, the thing is this. The easiest thing for any competitor to do is to reduce price. But then again, it doesn't change the value you're going to get from that product. What you need to do is to change how you present that product to people. Perception is everything. Perception is everything. You could go into the open market to buy a pair of jeans, right? A pair of jeans has been stacked with hangers and a lot of them. And then the moment you get into the place, you're already thinking, it doesn't matter the price this guy is going to call this thing, I'm going to negotiate the price. And then calls the price, they say, no, I'm going to pay this, I'm going to pay that, I'm going to pay that. That same pair of jeans will be placed in a store, well lit, well cleaned, looking so bright and everywhere. And then you look at it with a price tag on it. Psychologically, you're thinking, I can't even negotiate this. And it's even more expensive. So you see, who you sell to also matters. It is not what you sell. Who you sell it to matters. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where the people are not paying the value that you actually want for the product, that means you need to probably change the people you're selling or marketing your product or service to. The price is never the problem. It is who is listening to what you're saying. How are you presenting it to them? I'll give another example. Someone says, I need you to do a job for me. And then he says, send me a quote. Send me a quote for this. And then you're like, okay, no problem. I'll send immediately. In 5 minutes, you send the quote. And then they say, how can you be charging 7 million for this? But someone says, send me a quote. And I say, okay, please give me 2 days. Let me prepare. And then I'll come and do a presentation. And then you get there. You start speaking a lot of grammar, explaining each item, explaining the benefits of each item. Before you finish the explanation, they start to build value by themselves on what you've written down. It is perception. But when you drop it out as it is just it is easy, it's small, why are you charging this amount of money? So you see, the perception, which is also a strategy, how you present your products, the people will determine the value they will place on it and how much they are willing to pay.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that. So you're saying that how I make my product appealing enough is the game changer. How I make my product appealing enough is the game changer. Okay, so let's look at organizations in particular.
Yeah.
With situations where, for example, they need salespeople to be able to put their service out there. Okay, so instead of engaging, say that they are expertise who have this sales thing going on for them, they are experts at sales. So some organizations will decide that instead of engaging such persons, they should rather train in-house. They should train in-house. Even with ads, you know, some organizations, instead of engaging specialties, organizations who have specialties in branding, they would rather want to, you know, make that investment in-house. What do you have to say about that?
Look, it is also a form of trying to, one, cut costs, and then two, build their own system. Because if you engage an external person will never know as much as the people that are in that system. You might know how to produce and then they make the sale. But when that contract is over, the system itself will become empty because they will never understand the process of how these things are done. And these are the staff of the organization that are running the day-to-day activities. So in my own opinion, I would suggest as you're having the external people coming, let the people on ground also be trained to understand how these things are done so they can continue to carry on that process for the organization.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll not be wondering why exactly do I have these people in my system when I can just pay someone outside? Eventually, they just lay them off. But then again, the organization that you're bringing in, you can't 100% rely on them. You can't 100% rely on them. You still have a certain percentage of reliability on the people that you have close to you that can always have conversations with every single day to try and grow the organization. They are also running their own organization to grow. They have their own problems to solve. But it's better to solve internal problems first, build the structure from the internal, so they can be strong enough that whatever information they're getting from outside or other support they're getting from outside is going to be an addition to what they have.
Yeah, that is a system that I see going on a lot with a lot of organizations. But okay, let me see if I can use a better example. Okay, let me say, for example, an organization who is into furniture making.
Yeah.
Okay, they are great at furniture making. Okay, but they are other companies that what they do is just design.
Yeah.
Do you get it? They are great at creating designs. So they are so creative. They have magnificent minds in creating, in making designs. So an organization or a business that makes tables may also be good at design, okay, but definitely would not be able to match the other design firm
Will
because
not
they are
or may not.
Sorry?
Will not or may not be.
Okay. However, may or will not. Okay, so if it's for the purpose of efficiency, this is what I think. I'm into furniture making. I create my own designs, or I have how I want designs to look. Let's say the designs have to look traditional, African traditional design. I'm good at making these designs, but then there's a firm that is a design firm, and all they do is creating design. They are so great at creating design, right? So why not engage this creative firm to do your designs? Okay, they make my designs, and then I make the furniture. Okay. They make the designs. What I get to do, what my people get to do is monitor the process instead of creating the design. Do you understand? And then
I understand.
we instead of saying, no, it's our design, we have to come up with this African design and all of that. But these people, we cannot match them with innovation. We cannot match them with innovation, yes. Because what you're saying is what is happening. People rather want to train in-house. They want to train in-house. And it's time consuming. Number one, you're going to spend money training them, you know. Number two, you may not even be able to keep paying people, because by the time these people elapse, these people will surely elapse. You have to bring in another set. And then they have to start getting used to companies' culture and all that before, they even start giving you what you want. But these people, it's their business. That's what I'm talking about. Instead of
I understand. I understand, but I understand. But I will explain something, right? Look, it is great to get to pay for a service of a professional in a particular field and add it to yours and then sell to people. I totally understand and I agree, right? But then again, another thing is this. Why would you keep people that have little or no knowledge of the kind of result that you want in your system, and you keep paying them, and then you get the services of an external people just because you don't want to train them now, and then after a while they're also going to go and then find a new set and to train them again?
No, I'm not saying you won't train them. I'm saying that for effectiveness, I don't know how to say.
I totally understand, right? For effectiveness, they are being in the system, they understand it. I can buy that service for them to be giving me the kind of result that I want. Do you understand? But again, we still need to build internal system to be strong enough to at least compete with what the other people, the service that we're getting from outside on the long run. Because one, we want to save money. We want to save the cost, because most definitely it's going to be way more if I have internal people that can get me the kind of result that I want that this external person is giving me. Do you get? It's just like artists, musical artists. We have musical artists, and then we have some of them write their own songs, and some of them also just buy the lyrics. They buy the song from other people and they sing it. So it happens. Do you understand? So it's both ways. It's whatever works best for you. It's both ways. Whatever works best for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. What works best for you? So
Yeah.
it's you have to figure that out.
Figure
You
that
have
out.
to
Yeah.
figure what works best for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get your final thoughts on planning, strategy over planning, planning over strategy. What do you have to say on that?
Okay. Number one, if you want to achieve a particular set of goals, right? It is important to plan, understand the resources that is required for you to do all of these things. What is involved in the planning? Now we want to make a certain amount of money at so amount of time, right? What are the things we need? We need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to engage you, we need to engage that. That is planning, right? Now, the strategy is now going to be, what is it I'm going to say to the people that will make them pay me this amount of money? What is it I'm going to do so that I'll be able to reach a volume of people that will be able to give me the kind of results that I want? What is it I'm going to do that would make sure that whatever I have put together, the resources that I have put together, does not also go to waste? Now, all of these things cannot be actualized until you put them to real test. Real test means that when you test it in the real world with real human beings and the kind of response you're going to get from them, when you get the response and the feedback from them, you now start to make adjustment into the strategy until you get the result. Because every single thing you're thinking about, as regards the kind of result you want, they are not real. Up until when you put it to test in real life, that is when you get the response. That is when you now start to make adjustments until you make it a system. So the idea of building a strategy or developing a strategy is to build a system. And a system is a repeatable process that produces what? Profit.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. So strategy is you figuring out what and how it is that you're going to do what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
how you're going to put it out there. And this begins with the prototype. It's very, very important that you get to test the market. You get to test the particular market that you are looking at working with.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. So your final thoughts, a business without the strategy, what happens?
You just continue to float. Wherever the market takes you, that's where you'll be going. And then you find yourself in a short term crashing or running into a whole lot of problem. It is important to have a strategy on the direction you're going to go. If it's not working, from the feedback you get, you start to make adjustments. Until you get the result that you're looking for.
Thank you so much. So strategy is not assured. You don't have any assurance working with strategy, but it is so important that you have one and you continue to make the adjustments as you get to know. Thank you so much. Thank you for making out the time to be here. I truly do appreciate, and I'm wishing you the best moving forward. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for taking out your time to learn. I have learned so much, and I hope you have done the same too. Do have a lovely day. God bless you.